I'm not going to give up on that. I'll give people a couple seconds to join. Yeah, and we'll just do the damn thing. Cool, 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 cool. How's everyone doing? I feel like I've lived 10,000 years since I saw you last. Ugh, what should happen to my screen? Is my internet broken? Where are you guys? We do not have a strict agenda for tonight. This is going to be kind of one of our chaos streams, but I did find some good sources for us about sharks that I'm excited to experience with you all. Hi, Barbie. Oh, thank God someone's here. I was getting nervous. I know you're just supposed to continue on. One time I watched this thing, and it was like how to be good at streaming, and it was like, even if no one's there, keep going. And I was like, I kind of can't do that, actually. Like, so sorry. If I look different, it's because I've been aggressively exfoliating my body because I had a spray tan for the shows we did. And then we're about to do more shows, so I'm getting a new spray tan tomorrow, but I'm trying to get the old spray tan off. And I have no eyelashes on. So, like, I just took my everything shower. Well, actually, that was a couple hours ago, but my hair is still wet. Ugh. Okay, let's get into this. Lemur Banana, subscribe for 32 months. We miss you. It's been a minute since we've seen you. So sad I can't actually stick around. I may be back by the end. Y'all have lots of fun. We will. Hope everything's okay. We miss your vibes. Megan LaFame, thank you for subscribing for 43 months. Excited for tonight's topic. Okay, y'all are excited. This is the highlight of my birthday. So, I heard someone's here in a shark fanny pack. There's a lot going on. As I was saying, we don't have a super strict like agenda tonight. So if you have like a tangent you want to take us on, feel free. This is going to be kind of like the 432 Park Avenue where I just gathered a bunch of sources and we're just going to vibe out and look at them. Is this going to be an all-encompassing informational video with everything about sharks ever? No, but it is going to be very informative and it is going to be fun and it is going to bring attention to shark issues. I was just eating dinner with Mr. Redacted and I was like, he was like, oh, what's your stream about tonight? And I was like, sharks. And he goes, what kind? And I was like, sharks. And he was like, no, like, are you talking about, like, in a specific ocean or a specific incident or, like, hammerhead sharks, great white sharks? And I was like, yep, sharks. And he was getting so mad because he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, there's just a lot to talk about. One thing we are going to talk about tonight is how the movie Jaws impacted sharks. Jaws is anti-shark propaganda. We are going to talk about the walking sharks. I love sharks. It's seals you need to worry about. Happy freaking birthday. Shark Week is the best holiday. I actually don't really watch Shark Week that much. Oh, I was like, why does it feel like sad in here? Like, why? I'm missing a light. I've been touring recently. Thank you to everyone that has come out to see us tour. I'm going to be in Dayton and Detroit later this week / this weekend. My favorite thing is, well, obviously I like anybody that comes to see us and comes to say hi afterwards, but the ones I like the most are where you guys come and you're like, I follow your Twitch and I recognize your usernames. Like, can I just tell you that feeling is electric. Electric. Atlanta show was incredible. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Atlanta at the Punchline, that was actually the longest I've been on stage ever. I really rose to the occasion, if you will. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun touring. It is very exhausting. I do feel like I'm kind of neglecting social media a little bit. Like, I was looking at my TikTok the other day and I was like, I've not been posting that much at all. But I was like, you know what? Whatever. Because this is the way I see it. I have a very cool opportunity to be with Stephen and Lou and the Unteachables and like actually be touring and doing stand-up. Like, that's such like a 1 in a million opportunity. Like, no one gets opportunities like that. Like, that's so rare to be able to do that. So even though like I'm kind of neglecting so many other things and like low-key not making much money at all, because like that's what comedy is, I'm just kind of living for it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I feel like it's like such a rare opportunity that I would just like, I like have to do it, you know? Kind of like The Amazing Race, but I wouldn't do The Amazing Race. But I know that's how some people feel about The Amazing Race. I'm getting a pimple right here. I feel it. I feel it. So the other thing about touring, it really does make you break out a lot. Especially me, because I have really sensitive skin. And I don't know what kind of detergent they're using at these motels, but it's not great detergent, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and get into talking about sharks. We've been here for 5 minutes. What's everyone drinking tonight? I have a lemonade, and this is like a very dad cup. It says, sorry for what I said while I was docking the boat. I think I actually bought this for my dad like years ago and then stole it from their house. Like, sometimes you steal from your parents. It's fine. People that are like, you steal from your parents? Like, what are you, a fucking cop? Like, yeah, who's not stealing from their parents? Oh my god, the skeleton's tiara fell off. That's very fitting. I'm actually just gonna put the tiara on me because I feel like that's what I need right now. Also, I know I said we were gonna talk about sharks, but we're still talking about me. Sometimes I give my mom gifts with the intention of stealing them in a few years. I'm gonna get it when they die anyway. If they want it back, they can ask. See, you guys get it. You guys get it. Because I distinctly remember this is when I lived in Miami and I was actually near my parents' house for a business trip and I like needed a cup and I like went to go see them because the conference I was at was like an hour from their house. So I went to go see them and I was like, oh, I need a cup to like take to this conference because I want to have water at the conference. I like it to be cold. I don't want to carry around a water bottle. So I took it and then I flew home to Miami. Like, well, very understandable. You're a shark. Thank you. What are parents for if not stealing from them? It's like when you had a child, you consented to being robbed for your entire life. That's why I don't have kids, because I don't want to be robbed every single day of my life. Forever. I bought my mom a cookbook, but I did read and take pictures of the recipes I wanted first. And that is just being a savvy shopper at the end of the day. Is your name Deep Blue because you're the queen of the sharks? I just tell my daughters to go shopping at my house. And that's why we love you, Jody. Because exactly. So let's talk about sharks. We have a lot to talk about. I'm being for real. We are actually going to talk about sharks this time. So this is just like a general pick I found to start us off. The whale shark is the biggest. It's 18 meters. I probably should have gotten like an America version of this, but you can see the size of the person. Like right to the right of where it says sizing up sharks, there's like a little dive person. And isn't there 3 feet in a meter? I'll Google it, don't worry. 18 meters to feet. Yeah, that's 59 feet. Wow. Oh, it's like 3 and some change meters in or 3.2 feet in a meter. That's what I'm trying to say. Child support is just the legal part of the stealing. I hope that came off right. That's what the Giving Tree is about. 3.28 according to my chem tutor. Are you at chem tutoring right now? Because that's fucking cool. That's a yard queen. It is. You're right. You're right. And that's what I get for taking science at a online Christian homeschool. I wanted to take extra art classes, so I simply said I will be doing chemistry with the Christians. Thank you. If y'all know who Tasia Alexis is, original Vine star, now TikTok star, we didn't go to the same campus, but it was the same school. I didn't know that at the time, but I heard her talk about it on TikTok later where she went, and I was like, I think that tells you everything you need to know about the education I was getting at that fine establishment. Okay, so first thing I found is Wikipedia. That's usually where we start these things. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Maybe later, are you going to ask me for something? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I feel so bad. Ugh. Okay, so these words are kind of hard to read. So sharks range from small dwarf sharks, that's only 6.7 inches. Look at it, it's so little. To the whale shark, which we talked about earlier. And they generally do not live in freshwater, although there's a few exceptions to that, like the bull shark and river sharks. Sharks can live in freshwater? I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Yeah, I can enlarge this graphic. Let's look at it. Okay, or not. Is that just me, or is it, like, not getting bigger? Was it? Yeah, it was. Okay. I think that's as big as it's going to let me make it. But yes, here's the graphic larger. This isn't every type of shark. How many types of sharks are there? How many types of sharks are there? There's over 500 species of sharks. Do you think that they, like, know each other? Like, do they know about each other? Do they interact with each other? Do sharks interact across species? But is it shark to shark? Yes, they do. They interact across species. They engage in predator-prey dynamics. They have social networks and long-term relationships. Oh, but it's talking about, like, pilot fish. Do sharks interact with other types of sharks is what I want to know. With other types of sharks. This is journalism right here. Sharks interact with other shark species. It says that they occasionally pair hunt, like stealing prey from each other, and then also cooperative hunting, and then they form large structured groups. Yeah. So it says... Interesting. They're mostly fine with other sharks. They play with other sharks. They form friendships. Aww. Learning so many facts in the chat already. No, like, I literally just wanted, like, a space where intelligent people could talk about sharks and, like, no one be weird about it. No one be like, why are you talking about sharks? Because, like, there's clearly a lot to talk about. And I knew you guys would know stuff. Like, I mean this in the nicest, most complimentary way possible because I'm saying it about myself, too. Like, we're National Geographic kids. Like, some kids are Cartoon Network kids. We're National Geographic, VH1, MTV kids. It's the truth. I'm sorry. Did they find Bethany's arm in the shark? No. Did they find the shark? Did they find the shark? Sorry, that was just like a suggested people also ask on Google. Why was my first thought Bethany Frankel? That's embarrassing for me. This lemonade's good. Kind of tastes like Splenda, but it doesn't have Splenda in it. Oh, I think it has like stevia or something like that. What else about sharks? I didn't even realize that they can live in freshwater. Sorry, I'm still stuck on that. Several shark species are apex predators. Bull shark, what do they look like? That's a drawing. Tiger shark, they're pretty. Like, you're not going to tell me they're not pretty. Great white shark, mako sharks, thresher sharks, hammerhead sharks, planktivore. That thing is cool. Why does its face look like that? The basking shark. Oh, the basking shark is fucking crazy. I was Googling this earlier. Look at this thing. Look at it. Look at its face. Look at this shark. It's the second largest living shark and fish. It's one of 3 plankton-eating shark species. Where do they live? This is too much reading. Like, I want, like, the stupid person version. I guess that's what ChatGPT is for, but I refuse to do that because gross. Okay, this is what I wanted. I wanted a picture. They live kind of fucking everywhere. Evolutionary history. Oh, sharks are old as fuck, by the way. Sharks are old as fuck. Sharks have been around forever. Okay, Wikipedia is kind of overwhelming me. So we're going to look at shark facts on Reddit is what is going to be happening at this moment in time. How long have sharks existed? Have sharks been on Earth? So sharks have been around for 450 million years. They predate dinosaurs, trees, and this is the real kicker, the North Star. Sharks are older than stars. Stars. Let's look at the history of sharks. I actually want to start with that, not Reddit. They're very old. So the beginning sharks. This is from Micronesian Conservation Coalition, so hopefully it's accurate. Really journalistic integrity here. The earliest shark fossils date back to almost 430 million years ago. Dinosaurs did not appear until 230 million years ago, meaning sharks have lived about 3 times as long as dinosaurs and 100 times as long as hominids, the human-like animals. Most shark fossils are teeth or skin, and these help scientists determine where and when sharks existed in Earth's timeline. So this is like the timeline of their the mass extinctions. There have been 5 mass extinctions in the past 439 million years. Sharks have survived them all. That's crazy that they've survived every mass extinction. These extinctions can allow surviving species to enter new habitats and evolve adaptations for new environments. These adaptations have allowed sharks to diversify over time, with some prehistoric sharks having very peculiar characteristics. I don't know if this is a real shark. I think this might be like mythology shark. Because it's like a drawing. Like, not a lot of these look like they're like drawings of what they think fossils looked like. Like, I don't think they're real. Well, they could be real, but it's like our interpretation. Like, it's not, we weren't there. You know what I'm saying? So we could be wrong. It's kind of like I saw a theory that dinosaurs were furry. Not like that kind, but like they had fur on them, which that makes sense because how would we know? You know what I mean? Falcatus was the first known shark to show sexual dimorphism, differences between male and female. The male had a large spine coming out of its head, thought to be used during mating. And I think what's important to remember is where you guys are asking about, like, it's older than a star, the mass extinctions. Sharks back then were not the sharks that we know today. They've evolved and they've adapted. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, it's their DNA goes back, but it's like not the same look or the same vibe. A lot of dinosaurs probably had feathers. Maybe that's what I read. Maybe it was feathers, not fur. The first modern sharks emerged sometime during the Jurassic period that still exists today. These first sharks included the frilled shark pictured here, as well as the 6-gilled or 7-gilled sharks. Following the extinction of dinosaurs, other deepwater sharks began to emerge, such as cookie cutter and lantern sharks that we have today. Perhaps the most well-known prehistoric shark is the megalodon. The megalodon could reach immense sizes and was thought to have hunted marine animals and other large ocean creatures. Though it lived until 2.6 million years ago, megalodon teeth are still found today, the largest tooth measuring at 7.25 inches. Okay, so here's a painting of some people getting eaten by sharks. Let's Google the megalodon. No! I meant to hit copy, not space. Megalodon. Right, like chickens of the past. Is there like a short video I could watch about this? I have other videos for us to watch, but no, I don't want to watch a YouTube short. There's reports of cookie cutter sharks attacking submarines. We are in their house, so that's like so valid. Megalodon size comparison. That's, I think, what I want to see. I want to see it compared to, like, a building. No, I don't want to save the photo. What's wrong with me today? You can tell I'm, like, not firing on all cylinders. I don't know if that was obvious. So the great white shark is 15 feet. The average human is 5'10". I feel like that's the average man. I think that they're lying. 65 feet. That is crazy as fuck. That is actually crazy as fuck. I want to see more. Megalodon size comparison. Also, next week on stream, we're doing Miss Redacted's Favorite Things. That's our new yearly tradition. But in a couple weeks from now, we're going to do a stream that's similar to this, but about ants. And I'm really excited about that one. Okay, this is what I wanted to see. It weighs more than, about the same as an elephant. 10 elephants, yeah. So it weighs the same as 10 elephants. This one's 60 feet long. It's longer than a school bus. I'm going to have a kid, and her name is Megalodon, and call her Meg for short. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Love everything about that. Okay, so sharks and man. The first representation of human-shark encounters was discovered drawn on a vase dated from 725 BC. Jesus Christ. BC? That was so long ago. References to sharks are found throughout Greek legends and accounts, and many cultures around the world saw sharks as cultural symbols, such as gods or the spirits of their ancestors, while other cultures saw them as malevolent demons. I feel like the ones that see them as gods are closer to the truth. White sharks were first described in a 1776, big year, journal, and the stories of monster sharks persisted in ship's logs and sailors' tales. The first major modern work on classifying sharks was not completed until the early 1800s with the publication of this book. In Americas, Eugene Gudger was considered the first person to study the biology of sharks in the early 1900s. Sharks came into the spotlight in the mid-1900s during wartime, where soldiers were left floating in the ocean after battles, resulting in many typos, shark-related casualties. This is kind of giving school project. We are going to talk about Jaws, but let's read what they have to say. In 1974, Peter Benchley published Jaws, and the popularity of the novel resulted in the movie, which became one of the most influential movies in history in regards to sharks. It's anti-shark propaganda. Following the movie's release, a rise in shark fishing tournaments resulted in the mass decline of shark populations and a highly negative public opinion of sharks. The recreational fishing of sharks would continue unregulated for 2 decades before commercial fishing of sharks entered into U.S. history. Conservation groups requested fishery management plan for sharks in light of the unregulated fisheries, and in 1992, the NOAA developed a management plan for sharks on the East Coast, although the data that was used in the plan was considered deficient. Most fishermen were not recording catches, and therefore the data collected for management plan was incomplete. That's sad. Shark fin soup. I can't even get into that. I cannot even get into that. I'm sorry, I can't. Let's go back to Reddit. Wildest shark fact you know. Sharks appear in the fossil record before trees existed. They survived 5 mass extinctions. We know this. What we do not know, they have been around longer than the rings of Saturn. They produce an average of 6,000 teeth per year. The Greenland sharks can reach ages of 500 upward. So let's look at the Greenland sharks. Greenland shark located in the Atlantic Ocean. He's been wandering since 1627. Once again, regulations are written in blood. This kind of looks like a cartoon. Ugly little guys. Don't call them that. He's vibing. Do you think they're playing the music for him? Oh my god, he probably... Stop. He does miss the quiet seas. He remembers. These sharks remember. The Body Keeps Score Shark Edition. Zombies of the deep. They're not zombies. They're alive. They're literally alive. That's offensive. A lot of them are blind. They have parasites in their eyes. Greenland shark facts. Longest lived vertebrae known, likely 250 to 500 plus years. Flesh is naturally toxic, only edible after a special fermentation. Now, how the fuck did you find that out? Doesn't sound like you were leaving it alone. Does not sound like you were leaving it alone. They mature when they're around 150 years old. They're opportunistic feeders and scavengers. They're packed with antifreeze, letting them function in near freezing high-pressure waters. They reach about 6 to 7 meters and 1,000 kilograms. They often host an eye parasitic copiod, heavily reliant on smell to hunt. How do they know when he was born, though? That's what I'm saying. Interesting. Oh, that one died. Natural causes, or I don't know. Okay, back to my other Reddit thread. Despite all of our technological advancements, we still haven't recorded white sharks mating. That's crazy. 150 years with no frontal lobe is brutal. God, you're right. That really is. I barely lived through my non-frontal lobe years. They were pretty horrifying, actually. Nurse sharks have the suction power of 12 Hoover vacuums. Definitely that sand tiger sharks have 2 uteruses, and pups kill and eat each other in utero, with only the 2 strongest earning the privilege of birth. Oh, that's crazy. Sharks cannot fly helicopters. The epaulet shark has evolved strong enough muscles in its pectoral fins that it can walk between tidal pools if need to. I think I have that one in here. Yes, Uterus Fight Club. Blue sharks can give as birth to as many as 100 pups in one go, and whale sharks it's around 300. Sharks are swimming close to humans much more than you think. A recent study showed that at some California beaches, a shark is nearby 97% of the time. I have found a shark in the ocean. There's been 2 different times I was swimming in the ocean and I was like, that is a shark. And I just didn't move and it went on its way. I was like, the shark recognizes that I respect the shark. And I'm not trying to fuck with the shark. Like, I was like, I'm in your spot. Like, I acted as a guest. You know what I'm saying? And both times it happened, it was a pretty small shark and I was in like waist deep water. So it was like, we're good. Like, I'm a guest. You're just passing through. They knew. Flipping a shark upside down will immobilize them for at least 15 minutes. Also, because I am a friend to sharks, but I am not so naive to believe that it could never happen, even though it's so rare, you are supposed to bop them on the nose. If you can find an object, like a stick or something, do it with that. If you can't, use a closed fist and bop them on the nose. Apparently, it's very disorienting for them, and it'll give you time to scamper, and they'll like be disoriented and try and leave. That's the best advice that I have. We have never found a shark with the anatomy capable of making sound. I don't know if that's true. There's several shark species we don't even know exist. How do sharks communicate? How do they communicate? How do sharks communicate? Through complex body language, like arching their backs, pointing pectoral fins down, gaping their jaws, nodding heads, and unique swimming patterns to signal moods, dominance, or warning. Most are silent, but some shark species can make subtle clicking sounds, and then they also have their senses like smell and vibration and things like that. Interesting. To be fair to the sharks, that would disorient me too. No, literally. Good shit. Okay, this is a different article, 10 jaw-dropping facts about sharks. You fucking cookies, I don't give a shit. Many sharks are endangered. According to the IUCN Red List reporting, more than 40% of sharks are endangered. This is because of overfishing, bycatch, habitat loss, and climate change. Bycatch is when they catch a shark on accident. So there's evil people out there going and catching sharks on purpose and selling them illegally. It is illegal to do that. There's people that do it. The shark fin soup industry is real. I'm pretty sure that's illegal most places or everywhere by now. I don't know though. And then people that want sharks in like aquariums because they're disgusting people and they want to own a piece of nature. So some people are evil and they catch sharks on purpose. That's bad. What is actually even bigger of a problem, because it's much more common, is bycatch. Bycatch is when you catch a shark on accident, but that can still kill the shark, is what's happening there. So it's like, maybe I am fishing for like tuna or shrimp, I don't know. And then I pick up the net and I'm like, there's a shark in here. I could kill that shark without meaning to, or injure it. It's not good. And then their habitat loss, I think you know what that is, and climate change. Here at Adventure Aquarium, we are home to several species. I don't care about your aquarium. Like, thanks for the article, Adventure Aquarium. Coconuts are more dangerous than sharks. This is my favorite statistic to tell people that are afraid to get in the ocean and they hang out on the beach. Pop culture has trained us to fear sharks, but in reality, sharks are less dangerous than a falling coconut. Falling coconuts kill 30 times more humans per year than sharks. Humans are far more dangerous predators, killing approximately 100 million sharks every year in fisheries. In comparison, only about 5 humans are killed a year as a result of shark attacks. Sharks can lose more than 30,000 teeth in a lifetime. That's disgusting. Sharks can't get cavities. Yeah, I think they just lose the teeth is what's happening. Shark skin is more like teeth than fish scales. It may look sleek and smooth, but their skin is actually made up of tiny V-shaped scales. I need to see this zoomed in. Shark skin. Oh, interesting. Here, I'll show you in a second. I had to pull it up bigger. There you go. Shark skin. Interesting. So I guess it's like teeny tiny, so you don't feel it. Well, it will give you an abrasion. It's like sandpaper. When scientists handle sharks, they often come away with shark burn. Interesting. Olympic swimmers wear suits designed to mimic shark skin to reduce drag and swim faster in competition. Depending on the species, sharks can give birth in 3 different ways. I'm going to try and pronounce these. Oviparious, which is laying eggs, and that's 40% of sharks. Viviparious, sharks carry their embryos to term and give birth to live pups. This is in bigger species like blue sharks and hammerheads. Oviviparious, they produce eggs, but instead of the eggs hatching outside the body, they carry it to full gestation, and then they continue developing, and then she gives live birth. That doesn't feel that different. I don't know if you had to, like, differentiate those, but I guess scientists do differentiation. I've dissected a shark once, and their skin has a very, very rough texture. I don't fuck with dissecting. Not something I do. I've had many opportunities to dissect. I always find a way to get out of it. I just don't like, what am I learning from that? I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I don't care. And like that, like I just don't need a small shark to be dead because I just don't care. I just don't want to be a part of it. Like, I don't care in any sense. Like, if you want to dissect a tiny shark, I guess that's fine. I don't care. But like, it's not something I need to do. Real ones remember the UU exemption letter from Teacher Quit Talk. And exactly. Because if men can weaponize their religion, why can't I weaponize it to get out of schoolwork? Riddle me that. If Mormon men can weaponize their religion against all the women of Utah, I should be able to weaponize UU religion, Unitarian Universalist, to get out of dissecting. I think it was a frog, not a shark, but still. In college, we used cats. That's how Mexico managed the feral cat population. I don't want to know about the feral cat population management. I don't need to be a part of it with any dissection. Like, they're like, oh, but they would have already died, and I don't care. Like, and I still don't want to be a part of their death experience because I don't know them like that. And I really, really genuinely, in my soul, don't care what's inside, and I'm not going to remember. So, like, I just have no interest in it. I'm good. I feel the same way about a lot of drugs. Like, when people offer me drugs, and I'm like, I just literally don't care, and I'm just not interested. I feel like dissection is for real scientists, not for me. Pictures are good enough. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think me doing it has any benefit to anyone, including me. You know? I work at a vet, and one of our doctors doesn't like cats anymore because she's dissected so many. Does she still see cats? See, this is why I picked a science that does not involve cute things. Exactly. Okay. I'm getting away from the dissection topics. I can't do this. So sand tiger pups eat their siblings in the womb. I think we did talk about this. Sharks have a sixth sense, with a unique organ called ambuli of Lorenzini, which allows them to sense electrical stimuli, especially helpful for hunting hidden prey. In fact, hammerhead sharks use their heads like metal detectors, waving them back and forth across the ocean floor to find and hunt for stingrays. They don't have vocal cords. They can't make noise. I don't like that 2 of your shark facts were about your aquarium. I feel taken advantage of by that. This is a shark evolution timeline. Yeah, sure. Accept the cookies. I get, take my data. Who knows? She does. She takes very good care of them. She just doesn't want to have a cat anymore. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I thought she was like, ugh, cats. I was like, that's like one of the most common pets. I really like cats. There was a cat in my backyard the other day, which really made me happy. And I don't think it was a stray cat. It looked very healthy, well-fed. Like, it did not look like it had a hard life. You know what I mean? You know how some cats, you can tell they live outside? And some cats, you're like, you don't live outside. I think it might have been my neighbor's. It was cute, though. And it was chilling. The reason I think, especially it's not a stray cat, is it was getting, like, very close to my house and wasn't that freaked out by me, like, staring at it and looking at it and stuff. So, like, I feel like a stray cat would have run away. Okay, shark evolution, 450 million year timeline. Blah, 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 blah. Their skeleton is made from cartilage. The only part of their skeleton that's not made from flexible tissue is their teeth. So they have no bones, they're just cartilage? Interesting. They're referred to as living fossils. They've evolved many times. So this is like, Chimerias are cartilaginous fishes, technically not sharks. They may have diverged up to 420 million years ago. You see what I mean? Like, it's different. It's just different. Shark-like scales have been found, but no teeth. If these were sharks, it would suggest the earliest forms of sharks would have been toothless. Scientists are still debating if these were true sharks or shark-like animals. No bones, just vibe. We have the sweetest neighborhood cat right now. She sits on our cars at night and left Pawpaw on my windshield. Aww. Like a giant ear. Ew. Analysis of living sharks, rays, and chimarias, I guess, suggests that around 420 million years ago, the chimarias had already split from the rest of the group. I don't know what percentage of seawater is salt. Why would I know that? And I don't like being wrong. Oldest shark teeth have come from 410 million years ago, described as the least shark-like shark. I want to see a picture of this fucking guy. What do you look like? I don't know if what I just did to my screen affected you all in any way, but everything disappeared, but it's back now. Oh, I've seen him. Or her. I've seen this in textbooks. It's 3.5%. Thank you. Okay, got it. So it's like a fish shark. No fossils if there are no bones, right? It was the teeth. They're finding the teeth, not the bones. That's what I mean. That's why I think it's hard to tell, and that's why we know so little about dinosaurs. They have diamond-shaped scales and spines in all the fins. They do have a cartilage skeleton, a shark-like skull and jaw, and some shark-like teeth, but they're not the shark-like shape. The first recognizable sharks were 380 million years ago. That does look vaguely shark. Bring me your sharkiest shark. That's funny. Good contender for chat of the night. Nice job. By the middle of the Devonian, 38 million years ago, these sharks were there. The first group that we'd recognize as sharks today. The golden age of sharks. Bring me back to the golden age of sharks. If you gave me a time machine, am I going to any historic time in America that I am interested in? No, I'm becoming a shark and I'm going to the golden age of sharks. This was 359 million years ago. An extinction event killed off 75% of the species on Earth, including many fish. This allowed sharks to dominate, giving a whole rise to a variety of shapes and forms. Interesting. Interesting. The origin of the shark's fearsome jaws. This is the end of the Permian period, 252 million years ago. Another mass extinction event wiped out 96% of all marine life. And a handful of shark lineages persisted. That is crazy. 96% of marine life gone. The sharks are still there. They're still there. Early Jurassic, the oldest known group of modern sharks. Shrinking sharks. This is also when they started swimming faster. They were still affected. Fossil teeth show that the asteroid strike at the end of the Cretaceous killed off the largest species of shark, and only smallest deep water species that fed primarily on fish survived. So I think, like, because sharks are so diverse, that's why they're staying alive for so long. Because when something happens, like an explosion or a meteor or whatever, it kills a lot, but not all of them. Sharks really are that girl. They are that girl. I don't want to sound politically incorrect, but I feel like sharks are the drag queens of the animal world. Beautiful, strong, resilient, diverse, talented. Like, I'm seeing a lot of parallels, you know what I mean? You guys get it. I'm a bad bitch, you can't kill me. The sharks, probably. Oh, y'all are fighting for chat of the night tonight. I appreciate it. It's almost like diversity makes us stronger. Exactly. They're like the primary example of evolution. The great white shark evolution. Sharks soon began to increase in size and hated for no reason. Exactly. Demonized. Beautiful, strong, talented, resilient, and demonized. Demonized by the media. Sharks are the drag queens of the animal kingdom. And I hope all the drag queens out there take that as a compliment, because it is one. I really like sharks. Despite what you may have think, the megalodon is not related to the great white shark. In fact, it might have been in competition with the great white shark's ancestors, which evolved from broad-toothed mako sharks 45 million years ago. Kettle Chips really brought this whole thing together. I'm 100% behind this now. Exactly, Kettle Chips. Like, I picked up on the vibe and you verbalized what I was feeling. Like, hated for no reason. Hated for no reason. Hammerhead shark evolution. They're thought to be the youngest sharks. They're only 23 million years old. So young at 23 million years old. That's crazy. The vast majority of shark fossils found are teeth. This is because they're made of cartilage, and the teeth are much tougher and harder than even bone. So that is why so many shark teeth are still around. They're just hard to break down. I'm a drag queen, and that is such a high compliment. Okay, good. I'm glad you took it as one. So let's watch this National Geographic Sharks 101. From the beginning. Am I getting sick? I hope not. That
They
would be
glide
cool.
through the water with unmistakable grace.
I need a shark queen.
Remnants of an ancient past. They dive and they rise from the ocean's murky depths to its sun-kissed shallows, rousing fear and awe like no other creature in the sea. The world's biggest living fish is a shark.
So I tried to find a shark drag queen. This is the best I can do for you. I wanted to find a drag queen that was like shark vibes. Did not. This works. I'm gonna keep looking. Shark drag queen. I've seen drag queens dance to Baby Shark. Oh, thank God. Folks, we made it. We made it. We made it. We made it. Slay, literally and figuratively. What I'm hearing is there's a gap in the market. Invented slay, been slaying since the will. Because they eat their siblings. That's good. That's really good. And then I also found drag queens hunting sharks, but I'm not going to get involved in that. Like, I'm anti-shark hunting, but I do eat fish, so how mad can I be, I guess, but do it sustainably. Katy Perry left shark. That's what I was trying to avoid, was Katy Perry left shark. I don't know. I feel like left shark was bringing attention away from sharks, in a way.
Of the estimated 34,000 species of fish, the largest are whale sharks. These gentle giants usually grow to about 40 feet long and weigh an estimated 15 tons.
Let's speed this up.
Their
Speed it
mouths
up.
alone can span 4 feet wide. The gigantic whale shark, however, pales in comparison to the largest fish that ever existed, the megalodon.
Yeah.
Dating to over 20 million years ago, it's thought that the prehistoric shark could have reached 80 feet long.
Is it eating
weighing
other
up to
sharks?
around 70 tons.
Are those dolphins?
Unlike whale sharks, The megalodon was carnivorous and consumed any creature
Holy
that fit
shit.
into its nearly 10-foot wide mouth. Throughout their lives, some species of shark can shed over 30,000 teeth. Unlike humans, who are born with a set number of teeth in their jaws, sharks have a seemingly limitless supply. They can grow, lose, and replace their teeth as needed. Furthermore, most sharks have multiple rows of teeth in their jaws. The jaws of a great white shark, the largest predatory fish in the sea, can contain up to 7 rows that hold up to 300 teeth at any one point. Most sharks, as they hunt their prey, end up losing their teeth individually. However, the cookie cutter shark loses and replaces the teeth in its lower jaw all at once. Sharks are built for speed. The fastest known shark, the mako shark, can reach speeds of up to 46 miles per hour.
Look at its eyes!
This speed
Look at
is
its
largely due to
eyes!
their body's hydrodynamic design. Many sharks have torpedo-shaped heads that allow them to cut through the water with little resistance. Plus, shark skin is covered with flat, V-shaped scales called dermal denticles. The denticles help water flow smoothly over the skin, which reduces friction and helps sharks swim quickly and quietly. Sharks also have skeletons made of cartilage instead of bone. Cartilage
You
is
wanna
much
see
lighter
some real
material than
speed?
bone, so sharks have less weight to carry.
Mako sharks constantly look anxious.
Sharks will lay eggs or bear live young. Egg-laying sharks only lay a few large eggs. They may come in various forms, such as sacs called mermaid purses or corkscrews.
Mermaid purses.
These eggs act as external wombs in which shark embryos complete their development. However, most sharks give birth to live young. Called pups, the young of most live-bearing species gestate for around 1 year. Some even begin practicing their predation skills while in the womb. Before they are born, the sand tiger shark.
This
pups
really
compete
is
with
Sharks
their
101.
siblings.
We know all
In
this
fact,
stuff, but
the
I like
strongest
watching the
pup in each
videos.
of the 2 wombs devours its weaker brothers and sisters. Some sharks are at risk of extinction. Every year, an estimated 100 million sharks are killed worldwide, in large part for the shark fin trade. The sharks
makes
are
me
caught and their dorsal fins are
Stop.
removed and sold at a hefty price,
No.
primarily in Asia. In traditional Chinese culture, serving and eating shark fin is a sign of status and wealth. Because of the high demand
This is
and
horrible.
value
I'm
of
gonna
shark
cry.
fins, some shark populations have plummeted by up to 70%, causing a ripple effect in ecosystems and endangering at least 74 shark species. However,
Sad.
measures are being taken to protect sharks, with a
Not
number of
enough.
countries and jurisdictions cracking down on unsustainable shark fishing. In China, shark fin soup is no longer allowed to be served at government banquets, a move hailed by shark conservationists. Through continued international conservation efforts, the loss of sharks may be curbed, allowing
Did
the
anyone else
creatures
see the drag
who
path
own the
edit
power
of
and
shark
grace
fins being
to survive
harvested?
for
No.
many generations to
Also, I
come.
just realized I've been neglecting the TikTok chat literally this entire time. Sorry about that, TikTok. If I don't, actively go seek y'all out, it doesn't show up on my screen. This is diving with a great white shark in 4K. more shark videos. Sorry. 5 big sharks that rule the sea. Yeah. Perfect. Hello? They're pretty normal, don't panic.
Shark. The great white might be the first creature that comes to mind. But that maligned predator is only one of roughly 500 shark species. Here are 5 other big sharks that do their part to keep our oceans healthy. Blacktip shark. Blacktip sharks are found in warm coastal waters around the world. They can grow up to 8 feet long. These sharks work together to feed on large schools of fish, surrounding the fish and forcing them into tighter and tighter balls. Blacktips gulp up the fish with jaws that can open nearly 90 degrees. 15
Me
rows
eating
of
hot
serrated
Cheetos.
teeth line each side of their upper and lower jaws. Sand tiger shark.
This
Sand
is, like,
tiger sharks can detect
really
prey using an electromagnetic
kind of a big backed thought. It's actually kind of a Bethany Frankel-ass thought, but
tiger sharks
I just came up with this idea. Imagine, you know, like buffalo cauliflower, like fried cauliflower with buffalo sauce on it? Imagine that, but instead of buffalo sauce, you put hot Cheeto dust inside, like, the flour mixture that you fry it in. That would be so good. Someone make that. I don't know how.
1,500 jelly-filled sacs, or ampullae, that pick up electrical signals created by a fish's breathing and heartbeat.
That's crazy as fuck, that they can
Fish
sense the
camouflage
heartbeat.
themselves on the ocean floor aren't always safe. When the fish are discovered, sand tiger sharks, also known as ragged-tooth sharks, use their needle-like teeth to impale their prey.
Ah.
Tiger shark.
The ocean gives me a lot of anxiety.
Sand tiger
There's
shark.
so much out
The
there.
tiger shark is like the garbage disposal of the sea, eating pretty much anything in its path.
That's kind of mean to say about it.
Stingrays, birds, and squid are just
The
some
one of them
the
ate a
tiger's
suit
menu,
of
along with
armor?
the occasional tin can, car tire, and license plate, which they may mistake for food. Tiger sharks mostly hunt at night.
Can you buy
Their
Cheeto
eyes
dust, or do you have to
are
harvest
dark
it
and
yourself?
waters.
I think you might have to
Their
harvest
ears
it
can
yourself.
detect sound from miles away.
I'm gonna ask the internet.
And the tiger shark's sharp teeth and powerful jaws.
I love the shallow part of the
Even
ocean, but don't take me past where you can
shells.
see the shore. It is kind of spooky. I do it, but it's spooky.
Galapagos shark. Despite their name, which refers to the islands where these sharks were first discovered, Galapagos sharks are found in open waters around the world. They have a sense of smell 10,000 times better than that of humans. Like most sharks, a Galapagos' nostrils are made only for smelling, not for breathing.
Looks like some
And
places
their
have it, but it's
olfactory
kind of
bulb,
like
used for smell, can make up 1/5 of their
hard to
brain
come
weight.
by. I don't know if they still make it. It's like
This
on eBay
heightened
and
sense
shit.
of smell aids in their hunt of tuna, octopuses, rays, and other animals. Whale shark. Whale sharks are the largest fish in the sea, stretching 40 feet or even longer. That's about the length of a school bus. Their mouths alone are nearly 6 feet wide and contain 3,000 tiny teeth. But rather than bite, these filter feeders suck in tons of plankton, shrimp, and other small animals each day. Like some species
I'm not
of
buying
sharks,
Cheeto dust on eBay.
whale
Yeah, I think I would
sharks
just
are
crush up the
naturally
hot Cheetos.
Fishing,
to make
collision
that.
with boats, and entanglement in fishing nets are the primary threats to these giants of the sea.
Okay, what else did I put on here? Oh, shark attacks versus other causes of death. I know the PETA people are like kind of insane, but this is a good article. Here are things that are more likely to kill you than a shark encounter: accidental poisoning, air travel, boating, cars, a champagne cork, constipation, contracting an infection in a hospital, cycling, an excessive cold, falling, fireworks, food poisoning, hunting, a jet ski, a lawnmower, a ladder, lightning strikes, a rip current, rock climbing, the sun, skydiving, a tornado, a train, tanning beds, or water, drowning. Sharks are objectively, like, you're safer in a room with a shark than in a room, like, by yourself, actually. No, but you are, it's like, what's that thing where it's like the bear or the man? I'm picking the shark. I'm picking the shark. These are shark myths debunked. What organization is this? New England Aquarium. Myth, all sharks are dangerous. Fact, movies might make you believe that the ocean is a safe place to be. Shark bites are extremely rare. I think we know this. Sharks have no predators. It's often a shark eat shark world, so their main predators are each other. Orca whales also attack sharks, and humans are sharks' main predators. Millions of sharks are caught per year for consumption or die after being caught and released or are killed in illegal fishing operations. Where's that little walking shark? I want to see that guy. I thought he was in here. I thought he was in one of those shark videos. Yep, there we go. Got him. Got him! Yeah, so the person that said, I firmly believe sharks mean us no harm and only attack humans on accident or when they feel threatened. Sharks don't like human. Like, unless they are starving, they're not going to eat a human. That's why you have more shark bites than fatal shark attacks. A shark could absolutely kill you in 2 seconds and eat you if it wanted to. There's a reason that's very rare. A lot of times they think you're something else, or they're scared, or like threatened, or whatever. Humans as sharks' main predators means any shark attack is self-defense. Exactly.
I've made a startling new discovery that has to be seen to be believed. At just 9 million years
They don't
old,
eat us. It's always that they
Epileptic
think we're
shark
something
is
else.
the
They poke
longest
around with their
shark
teeth
species
like we
on the
do with
planet.
fingers. It's just curiosity. Exactly.
And look what it can do.
Look, it walks.
It has thick, round, muscular fins that it can bend and use like legs.
I feel like it's more like a lizard than a shark. Strut your stuff, girl.
And now,
Look,
this shark
this
takes
is about to
its
get
behavior
crazy.
one step further.
Look at it. It's literally about to get out of the ocean and walk. It's holding its breath.
Many steps.
I love her. She's the moment.
The largest.
I feel like I'm
shark
witnessing
is 3 feet
evolution.
long.
You are.
It's a hardy animal that can tolerate water so hot.
She's
it would
going from
kill
tide
any
pool to
other
tide
fish.
pool.
On land, it slows its breathing and heart rate, allowing it to survive for an hour or even longer.
Oh my god, I thought she
without
was last
any
like 10
water at
minutes.
all.
She can be out there for an hour? That's
The
like 2 days,
epileptic shark may
basically.
be different from a great white or a bull shark, but it's evidence of evolution.
That is crazy as
Just like
fuck.
Whales were once land animals that returned to the ocean. Sharks may evolve one day to come onto land.
They're going to come after us, and we deserve it. They can smell blood a mile away. This depends on the environment that they're in. So many can detect blood in a Olympic-sized swimming pool, though. So more of an exaggeration than a myth. No evidence supports that the megalodon shark still exists. They do. They're lying to you. Sharks must keep swimming to survive. Not all do. The species that need to swim constantly are known as obligate ram ventilators, include blue sharks and short-finned mako sharks. They rely on swimming to force water into their mouths and over their gills for respiration, but some can remain stationary. So it seems like you just can never assume with sharks. You just can never assume. Is this the same thing? Are any of these going to be different? I feel like we're getting kind of redundant. Yeah, that's kind of the same thing. It's not the same thing, but kind of the same thing. So I want to talk about Jaws. This is the Jaws movie trailer. If you've never seen Jaws. I don't know if I've seen Jaws. Oh, I think I might want to watch this next. Shark experts rate 10 shark attacks in movies. Yeah, we're going to watch that after this. I like our little
There is a creature
chaotic
alive
nights.
today who has survived millions of years of evolution without change, without passion, and without logic. It lives to kill. A mindless eating machine. It will attack and devour anything. It is as if God created the devil and gave him jaws.
How they describe sharks is how I describe cops. Oh, a shark in the ocean? Who would have thought? I'm assembling an elite team to ban Jaws propaganda like middle-aged Christian mothers do with Harry Potter at middle school.
Psychological. You yell barracuda. Huh? What? You yell shark. We've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
Is it true that most people get attacked by sharks in 3 feet of water, about 10 feet from the beach?
Yeah. What we are dealing with here is a perfect engine, an eating machine. We're not only going to have to close the beach, we're going to have to hire somebody to kill the shark.
Bad fish. But I'll catch him and kill him.
Did you hear your father? Out of the water now!
This shark, swallow you whole. You're gonna need a bigger boat. That's a 20-footer. 25. 3 tons, Alan.
Yeah, get on the outside part of the boat. That's a good idea.
Now! Shoot!
Sharks are older than Jesus. So true. They were like, well, we're gonna shoot the shark. We're gonna blow it up. Why do we let... Yeah, I'm glad that shit hit you. Y'all deserve this. Like, literally the shark was in its home. This is self-defense. Get away from her! Scram! Get a job!
Of man's fantasies of evil can compare with the reality of Jaws. Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Richard
Terrible.
Dreyfuss, Jaws.
Men doing things they didn't need to do, then being mad about it going wrong. So I'm going to open this, but before we watch that, I want to talk about this. This is an article, Sharks Before and After Jaws. I'm not signing up for your newsletter, sorry. The blockbuster Jaw provoked fear by portraying sharks as mindless eating machines, but what did people think of sharks before then? It lives to kill, a mindless eating machine. It will attack and devour anything. It is as if God created the devil and gave it jaws. The world has been fascinated with sharks ever since. Even today, Shark Week is insanely popular. Similarly, exploits sharks as unpredictable and out for blood. But for most of their history, sharks were generally considered harmless. At the turn of the 20th century, swimming started becoming acceptable as recreation. The average bather The average bather knew or cared little about sharks, writes historian Beryl Francis. Anything terrifying tells us about the creatures were accepted as simply sailors' lores and legends. Sharks existed in the fringes of society. They were unseen, liminal creatures, inhabitants of the marine wilderness, according to Jennifer Martin, historian. Because sharks weren't commercially valuable, there was very little money or support for research. This changed at the start of the Cold War. The U.S. military... So yet again, I never even brought up the military. The title of this article is Sharks Before and After Jaws. At no point did I intend to be talking about the U.S. military, yet it comes up every time. Because why are they in everything? Why are they in everything? Why? Why are you involved in shark? What does this have to do with you? The U.S. military feared sharks would be dangerous to their water-based operations, so the Navy sponsored a secret program to develop a chemical repellent called Shark Chaser. They would issue Shark Chaser for decades, despite testimonies that the creatures seemed oblivious to the repellent. Some animals consumed the packets without any apparent consequences. So, who's gonna win? Sharks, who've been around since before Jesus and before the dinosaurs, or the U.S. military? I'm putting my money on sharks. Personally, sharks. By the 1960s, wariness of sharks started to make its way into civilian culture. Shark scares would rattle the public and lead to a burst of media attention. After a scare on Coney Island, the New York World Telegram reported the city police triggered several bursts of machine gun fire aiming into the water for the benefit of the photographers. Leave them alone. That's a whole other stream that swimming and running and jogging are relatively new for humans versus walking, horseback riding, and boating. That's a really good point. The alarm would often diminish quickly once performative measures like these were taken. Then in the 1970s, the image of the killer shark was cemented in popular consciousness with the release of Jaws, first as a best-selling book and then a year later as a film. The movie generated an unprecedented audience response of excitement and terror. The idea of marauding sharks became entrenched in the psyche of bathers around the world, creating a fear that the media exploited. Novelist Peter Benchley admitted that very little was known about sharks, Francis continues, but the intense fear his story generated has led to real-world consequences. After the film's release, sharks' populations plunged as thousands of fishers attempted to catch trophies. Shark populations have continued to face a steep decline. 100 million sharks are killed each year, and more than 30% of shark species are considered at least threatened. One positive side effect of Jaws was the surge of scientific interest it inspired. Sharks, once mysterious, are now heavily studied. There's greater awareness of their ecological vulnerability, and yet, even decades after release of the film, Francis writes, sharks have yet to shake off their fearsome reputation. The perception that sharks were stalking, killing machines remains the public's psyche. Spectacles like Shark Week do not seem to help. So let's watch shark experts talk about shark attacks in movies.
It's probably too shallow for a great white to even consider swimming in that direction. Why are shark movies so bad? Hi, my name is Amani Weber-Schultz. I'm a shark scientist. I study shark morphology. Today we're going to
So I'm
shark
obsessed with
attacks
her
in movies
immediately.
and judging how real they are. I don't even know who came up with the idea that you should hit a shark on the nose to get away from them. In general, if
Is
you're
that
being
not true?
attacked by anything, you should probably be hitting them in whatever places you can to get them away from you. However, shark noses aren't as weak as I think we make them out to be. They're overlaid with some skills that are basically meant for
I was
greater
wrong.
strength. So if they're poking around trying to figure
I
out
know
what
you're supposed to
something
poke their
nose
eyeballs.
is protecting them from getting harmed.
That
They
fake
don't
ass
necessarily
shark.
have to eat as often as movies portray them to. Shark digestion actually takes a really long time, whereas us as people, we have a really fast metabolism, and so we're eating all of the time. Sharks have a lot slower versions of that. Once they get enough in a meal, they'll just swim around and let all of that
Dolphins
digest.
are monsters.
So People are not a natural food item for sharks, and so they aren't necessarily swimming around the ocean thinking, oh, where's a person for me to eat?
I'm close enough to poke a shark's eyeball. I'm giving up.
We do know that sharks have preferences for what food they're consuming. Often when they bite people, it's a curiosity bite, meaning they just want to know what we are.
Kind of like a cat, they do
They actually
that.
did a pretty decent job of making Bruce the shark look somewhat correct. Sharks have between 5 and 7 gill slits. Great whites have 5, and in this movie they did give him 5, which admittedly made me happy. One of the biggest things that they got wrong is his size, though. In the film, he's around 25 feet, which is far larger than the largest great whites that we know about. In general, females are the bigger of the two of males and females, and they get to be around 16 feet as a total maximum length. So Bruce is about 10 feet larger than the average great white shark that we know of. This movie was really influential in creating this public perception of sharks that they are man-eaters, and then the subsequent terror that people felt after watching it.
It's just
there was
so
a really
fake-looking.
poor view on what sharks are and how important they are to the ecosystem.
Let me see, they might have
Now I
linked
think
in
we're
the
kind of bouncing
description.
back from this. You see
I'll
a
look
lot
it
of
up.
people realizing how important they are to the planet.
Amani
I'm gonna give this
Weber
a 5 out of
Schultz.
10 purely because they did an okay job with the body of Bruce and because I really appreciate the amount of gill slits they gave him.
Dory, are you okay?
She has an Instagram.
One of the things that this movie
Curly
did do well is
biologist.
you can actually see the blood from Dory go into Bruce's nose. We have a common misconception that sharks can just smell a drop of blood from a mile away, when in reality
Yeah.
their noses actually work very similar to ours in that they have to get a particle of that blood actually enter their nose for them to realize that it's there. Smell is not necessarily the thing that sharks are using to move about their environment and observe it, but one of the advantages that they have is their lateral line system, which allows them to sense vibrations in the water. So if they're within a certain amount of feet of, say, an injured fish, they can actually feel the vibrations from that fish flopping around.
I don't know if she's like the founder of this, but she has it tagged in her bio. It's this page, Miss Elasmo, and it's Minorities in Shark Sciences, and it was founded in 2020 by 4 Black female shark researchers. And their mission is to promote diversity and inclusion in shark research. So immediate follow. Like, let me please look at everything that you have going on. So the organization is this, Miss Elasmo, and then this lovely woman, Amani Webster Schultz, is Curly biologist. I'm gonna DM her.
And turn towards that and think, oh, that might be an injured thing that I can eat. They have sight, they do have ears, they can hear. They're using all of these different senses together.
Just a boy!
So sharks do not go in a frenzy when they smell blood, but they do get curious. So often they will completely turn to where that scent of blood came from and swim towards it. In general, they are opportunistic feeders, so they don't want to expend more energy than they need to for the food that they're going to eat. In this example, a clownfish and Dory would not actually be a sufficient meal for a great white shark like Bruce, so he wouldn't even be putting any effort into trying to capture them. He would be more interested in, say, something like a seal, which would offer him an easier meal and also give him a lot more in terms of energy.
Fish are friends, not food!
So there are a couple of different types of omnivorous sharks. My favorite example is the bonnethead, which actually eats seagrass in addition to crabs. You also have the biggest sharks in the ocean, such as whale sharks.
Oh, she was on a
sharks, and megamouth
podcast?
sharks. These are all filter feeders. So they essentially just swim with their mouth open or suction water in to then filter food out. And usually this food ends up being things like plankton or shrimp. But of the sharks in the scene, which are the great white shark, the short fin mako, and the hammerhead, none of these sharks are omnivorous or vegetarian. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10. I'm not convinced that these sharks aren't real sharks. They're like unreasonably realistic, down to like the tag that's on the dorsal fin and also that pre-dorsal ridge that you can see on the top of the head of the tiger shark. One of the dead giveaways for knowing if a shark is in fact a tiger shark is those tiger-like gray stripes that you can see on the side of their body, just like you can see in this scene. The smoke in this scene is extremely unrealistic. They wouldn't be smelling the smoke that's in the air, and there wouldn't be smoke under the water.
She's like, I shouldn't have to tell you that.
It's not unexpected for an attack to be from a tiger shark. They're probably in the top 5 sharks to be considered to be more dangerous to humans than others. They eat essentially anything. People have found license plates in their stomach, which I think is crazy. So in this scene, Sean Connery is swimming away. If the tiger shark wanted to eat a prey item, especially someone like a person who is not built to be swimming in a water environment, you wouldn't be able to get away. But in this scene, it's probably slightly more realistic to a shark that was just curious, just following you around, trying to kind of figure out what you are. And so this tiger shark isn't actually exerting that much energy in this, probably because it's not actually that interested. I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10.
Sharks really
the
said,
sharks are
you think
actually
about
real."
us way more than we think about you.
This is one of the ones where this shark swims by and there's like 8 gill slits on this thing and it drives me bonkers. This is supposed to be a megalodon shark. They are a prehistoric shark, so they are in fact extinct.
Hopefully I'm remembering it was her on the
believe that
podcast.
they might maybe somewhere be real. This shark is okay in terms of anatomically correct. They make the shark around 75 feet long, although newer research is showing that megalodons were probably closer to around 60 feet. Yes, this is what real shark cinema is. There's actually no way to get out of it, and they're also not normally glass. She's like doing like a photo shoot down there with that amount of light.
I'm going to try to hit it in the eye.
She's aiming for the eye. Probably a good idea to aim for the softest spots on the body of anything that is attacking you. Structurally, the weakest spot on a shark in terms of ability to actually give them injury and be somewhat catastrophic to them is their stomach, because their stomach is a lot less protected than the upper part of their body, which has a very big layer of muscle and tissue. Their stomach is somewhat lined, but then right past that wall, you have all of their essential organs. However, sharks have been shown to sometimes be able to swim around with holes in their body, depending on where it is, assuming they don't lose any of those essential organs.
Oh, you were
Because
right. Thank
sharks
you for
are
the
crazy.
link.
Sharks are not that crazy about dragging their prey along to eat it. They will typically take a big bite and shake their head to create this like gouging motion to get a chunk off and then swallow it. And they also probably wouldn't be trying this hard to get a small piece of prey like a human. I'm gonna rate this as a 1 out of 10.
Like,
top
sharks
tier rating.
literally don't give a fuck about us.
This is supposed to be a great white shark, and if you look at the depth that Blake Lively is surfing at, it's probably too shallow for a great white to even consider swimming in that direction. Juvenile great whites do go into shallower water because they're smaller. So if you're smaller, you can go into shallower water, but really large great whites have a tendency to hang out offshore or in way deeper waters, purely because they're too big to actually swim into shallower waters. In 2021, there were around
The fact that we haven't
73
sped her up
unprovoked
speaks
shark attacks
volumes.
worldwide, and roughly 50 to 51% of those were people who were surfing or on boards, because you are like a large form that has things that look like flippers or fins hanging
I could
off the
see
side
that.
of you. I could see that being something that they might confuse, but whether or not they actually confuse you for another prey item or they're just curious as to what you are is hard to say. Disgusting. First of all, absolutely no one would be surfing near a whale carcass because dead mammals smell terrible. Secondly, a great white would absolutely go after a dead whale carcass as opposed to a person because they don't have to expend any energy for it.
Such
It's basically
clarity and
free
authority.
food.
She's a really
I'm gonna give
good,
this
like,
scene a 1 out of
educator.
10. So the fin out of the water trope
Is that the lady from
is
Clueless?
mostly a movie thing, obviously. The dorsal fin is the highest point on their body, so if they're swimming near the surface, then you're going to see that dorsal fin, but it's largely unrealistic that sharks are regularly doing this. At least that part of the scene is somewhat correct. Great white sharks do breach all the way out of the water for a very short period of time before they re-enter. Sharks that breach in general, it's usually during feeding. However, breaching out of the water to reach a person on a boat is very unrealistic. Great whites, when they're breaching, often they will swim relatively slowly when they're trying to figure out if this is a prey item that they actually want to eat. And then in that last couple of feet, that is when they will swim really fast, and that's how they end up breaching the water. This is hugely energetically costly though, so they aren't actually breaching as often as the media portrays them to be. It's probably somewhat unlikely that a shark injured to the extent that this one is would keep coming back for the same prey item, However, there are sharks that will eat prey that may or may not cause them harm. A really good example of this is hammerheads. They have been found to have ray barbs, or the stingers, lodged into their mouth because they love eating them, and it apparently does not bother them to just be swimming around with a bunch of spikes sticking out of their face. I'm giving this a 0 out of 10. I think the whole clip is ridiculous.
It's called photophores. That means cells that light up. The cookie cutter shark.
They do show that cookie cutters bioluminesce. That's a really cool fact about them. And this idea of bioluminescence is through the use of photophores, as said in this scene, where they have cells that essentially light up along their body.
Hammerheads
and
just casually piercing
will do this
their
on
lips.
purpose to attract maybe even a larger predator or a prey item for them. They actually did a pretty decent job on both describing what a cookie cutter shark is and showing how they feed. They do essentially bite the prey that they want to eat and then rapidly spin off, which is how you get that cookie cutter bite mark.
Oh, that's why they're called that.
Of showing their body. They do have that really large eye because they generally live in habitats that are a lot deeper in the ocean, and so there's not as much natural light going down there.
You know what else is weird about them? They swallow their own teeth.
I love this fact. Cookie cutter sharks live in a nutrient-poor environment, and so getting all of the nutrients that they want can be a lot harder to come by. And so they will swallow the entire bottom row of their teeth to then recycle that calcium. So this is a shark talk.
That's crazy.
Sharks, because they lose their teeth so often, they probably do, on accident, consume some of their teeth. But in general, the cookie cutter shark is the one that we know of that does this on purpose. Their jaw doesn't look like this. The bottom row of teeth is actually all fused together, so it's just one big tooth with a bunch of spikes at the top.
She said, "You brought me the wrong
bar
shark."
of teeth will then fall, and they will eat that and retake the calcium out of that. They show them eating in a pack in this specific scene. We don't generally think of them as being pack animals. We usually think of them as being more solitary. They are also
thinking I'm a little hungry and swallowing a
learning about their
tooth.
social habits is actually a lot harder than if we were doing, say, a shark that's at the surface quite often. Cookie cutter sharks have been known to bite people. As a smaller shark, they're pretty much going to be biting whatever they can find to try to get nutrients from. Generally speaking, these bites are not as fatal as, say, if you got bit by a great white shark, but often these happen. People go out swimming in the ocean at dawn or dusk. That is when cookie cutters come up to feed. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10 because I'm really happy that they told everybody that they swallow their teeth and that they showed that they bioluminesce.
She's proving my attention span isn't completely
Chumming the
ruined.
water is pretty common, which is just putting essentially ground up bait into the water. This is a thing that people do use, especially if you go on a shark tourism boat or go cage diving. In this case, they're putting what looks like a lot of blood into the water. Chumming in general is not great for sharks. There have been studies that have showed that if you are a tourism boat or in a touristy area where shark tourism is a really big part of your economy, then chumming can actually teach the sharks to come near when they hear things like boat motors and then start to associate that boat motor or people with food.
Interesting. I can see that if you're constantly feeding them.
This one is just funny. In general, if you have to swim in a direction, going through the area where food may or may not be for a predator is not good advice. It's quite unrealistic that if someone got bitten in the abdomen that they wouldn't just bleed out and die immediately. There is no such thing as a soft grip if you're in the mouth of a shark, and so they would have probably just been bleeding a lot more and or had full chunks bitten out of them. Oh my gosh,
Now we
they
can
put
finish
the...
it.
Wow. So in this scene, you can see all these little black dots around the underside of its nose. These are called ampullae of Lorenzini, which allow sharks to detect electricity, and they use this to essentially just sense electricity in the ocean. So when we tense our muscles, that creates little tiny amounts of electricity, and they can actually sense that, and I am in shock that they put that on the shark in this movie. I'm giving this a 4 out of 10 because I like that they included the ampullae of Lorenzini. The sharks circling this raft, that is pretty common because sharks are curious, just like us, so if they want to know what something is, they will kind of circle around to just keep some eyes on it, maybe
Their
try
mouth
to get some
whiskers.
smells and figure out what it is. A really good example of this is people who dive with oceanic whitetips. They're quite curious in terms of sharks, and so they will kind of come up to you and swim around and be looking at you and maybe trying to smell what you are. Whether or not you should be splashing to get away from them or not is kind of up in the air, but in general, splashing will draw attention to you.
Yeah, you
in
just
the
gotta be
ocean
chill.
because they can feel the vibrations of you swimming away.
Move gracefully and small.
This is pretty common with sharks. They will eat each other. Despite popular belief, sharks are not all apex predators. A lot of them fill that middle part of the food pyramid, which makes them a mesopredator. So if you are a larger shark, it's quite common for you to eat smaller sharks. I'm gonna give this scene a 4 out of 10. So these are supposed to be mako sharks, and they look slightly more close to a great white, although makos in general often are considered to just be great white shark looking, but smaller. They did a pretty decent job on the teeth, though. You can see them kind of jutting out of their jaw.
They recognize that gun.
It's impossible. Sharks do not swim backwards. They can't.
In general, sharks cannot swim backwards. The main reason for this is that they don't actually have a locomotor motion that would move them backwards. So if we were walking backwards, we're just moving our feet and pushing in a backwards direction. They don't have something near or at the front of their body that would provide thrust to let them move backwards. I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 10 because I feel bad giving another film a 1 out of 10. My favorite shark movie is Shark Night because I know how unrealistic it is. I just end up laughing the whole time. And also Jaws because Jaws is just the OG shark movie. If you like this video, feel free to click the link above.
I really liked that. That was like an unexpected find of tonight. I'm going to skip over the scary shark encounters. I feel like we've seen enough of that. We have a couple more things, and then I have a shark Blooket. This is a really friendly baby whale shark. The fact that that's a baby. He's a baby. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about the original I'm Baby meme, and it's like the text messages. Not important right now. Not important. Like, he's really all up in there with them. Wild shark recognizes human best friend after they were separated for a year. This is probably like AI from someone's grandma's Facebook feed. How old is this? 4 years ago, so probably not AI. Yeah, this is pre-ChatGPT. We're safe. Did they make this movie to save money on actors? It's the shark carrying all the weight.
Retriever that wants love and affection constantly. She's always the same exact, reliable, gentle giant. It was in late 2001 when she first started showing up at Tiger Beach.
Not her rolling her eyes.
My relationship with Emma has grown exponentially every time I've been able to remove a hook. And so far, there's been 4 hooks. January of 2020 was the last time that I was able to interact with Emma, not realizing the pandemic would actually stop me from experiencing these encounters.
This could be us, but you play it.
I had absolutely no idea that sharks were affectionate creatures.
Cuteness, aggression with a shark, but they're all muscles so they can take it.
Into the area with a hook through its jaw, and I got this crazy idea I could gain a sense of trust with the shark so I could remove the hook. The shark loved having his head rubbed.
I also love
Within 2
having
hours,
my head rubbed.
I had the hook removed. Removing the hook was a game-changer moment for me. These are, without question, sentient creatures that thrive on affection, which they've never had before. These beautiful creatures want absolute.
They have been alive for over 400 million years, and they've never had affection. There's sharks right now swimming in the ocean that are 400 years old, that have never had a hug. They've never been pet. This is sad.
To do with us as a food source. The anticipation
Shark
of
Defender.
having a reunion with a wild animal that you've had a relationship for this many years is so heartwarming.
She's probably been wondering about
there
it.
in the Bahamas.
She doesn't know about the pandemic.
Unfortunately, she didn't show up. But I was actually taking a break when somebody screamed, "Emma is here," which woke me up.
I'm down there, and all of a sudden I see a tiger shark coming from in the distance, and I can tell that it was Emma. The sharks can tell different boats apart, so I think she could tell that it was the shearwater there. But she stopped like, "Hey, where's my friend? Where's Jim at?" I just got so excited to see her.
I proceeded to get into
the way that
water.
she knows him, even with all the gear. Probably
And have
smell.
this
They're so
beautiful
smart.
Reunion. She was.
I don't
the same
scuba. I'll never
exact
scuba,
shark
I'm
that
sorry.
I've known all this time. It was as if no time had gone by whatsoever.
I'm calling Sarah
I don't
McLachlan to
think
do a
there's
Shark
another shark that
ASPCA
holds
commercial.
a candle to how lovable, how affectionate, and warm-hearted Emma is.
She eats the fish in front of him.
Speechless.
Y'all be safe
I
with
don't
that.
know that there are really words to describe what it is like to have a friendship with a wild animal like this. But it's extreme joy, heartwarming, almost tearful.
That was such a good note to end on. Actually, I lied. We're going to do one more thing. This is the shark photographer of the year. And then I have a little Blook It game about sharks for us to play. I'm going to start casually dropping shark facts after this stream and slowly change the anti-shark narrative one person at a time. That's why I continued on with this stream. Even when no one wanted it, everyone was like, "What do you mean sharks?" I was like, "We're doing sharks." Because there was just stuff that you guys needed to know. These are insanely beautiful photos. Even that one, even though it's kind of spooky. These are so good. You do have to be the change you want to see in the world. Tell people about Emma. Oh, this is like the egg sack thing. Wow. All right, let's play our Blook It game. Here, let me make sure I'm logged in a new window. No, I'm not giving you the name of my school or organization. It's just me. Leave me alone. All right, sir. Sorry, it's cheating right now. There we go. Look at this. Look at how they're throttling us. All these things we're not allowed to do. All these fun things we're not allowed to do. I'm not upgrading. I'm not doing it. We'll do the cafe one. That's my favorite one. I'll play with you. So normally we do a time to climb, but since we were doing a chaos stream, I thought I would mix it up a little bit. This is just a Blook It with questions about sharks. We'll play, it's kind of short, so we'll just do a short time. You don't have to play. If you enter your name, it will come up on my screen, so don't do that if you don't want that to happen. You can put a fake name or something clever in there. It's loading very, very slowly, but it'll have directions in a second, and I'll pop a link in the chat. There we go. And yeah, I like the chaos streams too. I feel like they take us in an interesting direction. And next week we are doing Misredacted Favorite Things. That is a holiday tradition around here. It should be a good time. And there will be a $25 Amazon giveaway. I'm going to do a time to climb about old topics. So for my people that are here a lot, make it go fast. You will have the advantage. Here, I'm playing with you guys for once in my life. Okay, maybe not. It said something went wrong. It's not letting me put my name. Why isn't it working for me? This is bullshit. My internet is being weird. It's that weird Starstorm thing. Mine is too. Whatever, I'll try the other way. Play Blook It. It blocked all my fun names. Is Blook It broken? I'm gonna try something real quick. I have a feeling maybe all of us did the QR code And maybe if you type in the actual thing, it'll work. No, mine's broken too. Damn, it's working for some of us, but not others. I'll try one more time. That sucks. That's very lame. Yeah, I think it's down. That's sad. Some of you it's still working though, so I'll let you guys play and the rest of us will just suffer, I guess. Maybe it's because we're trying to do it on our phones. Maybe on computers it works. Let me try on my computer. Which is super lame. Or maybe it's only down in like some regions or something. Yeah, it's not working on my computer. Maybe it's like provided. Oh, is it? Maybe. No, not working on my laptop. Yeah, it's being super slow on my computer. Maybe it'll let you guys play though. It's crazy that it's letting me host but not play. Not working for me either. Oh, now mine worked on my computer. What thing do I want? Arctic fox. Yeah, I want the fox. There's not a shark one. That's lame. Okay. I'm gonna hit start. If you haven't joined yet, it'll let you join late. We're in? See, okay, now it's working. They knew. They heard us talking. I'll give people a couple more seconds then if now it's working. All the good animals are getting taken. Oh man, there's a lot of you on here. Nice. Mr. Docted was my #1 YouTube channel this year, so I may slay the Nearpod. You probably will. Favorite things you can recommend for gifts for teachers too. I love a gift card. I love money. I love baked goods. Oh, I love baked goods. I had a student bring me flowers one time. I thought that was really pretty. I love art. Like if someone makes like a high effort art or craft, that's cool. But yeah, those are my things. I also love a candle. Candle's always gonna hit. I don't love getting lots of random plastic items. I like things that I can use something for. Like one kid got me like my favorite teacher, like a tumbler straw cup. I loved that. I use it all the time. I would say things that someone's gonna use or money. Not so much like decorations. I do love Christmas ornaments though. That's a really good gift. I have my students make Christmas ornaments and they can either keep them or give them to me, and a lot of them give them to me. The sharks were nice to us and stopped gnawing on the internet cables. Okay, I'm gonna hit start. No, I don't want a tutorial. I know how to play this. This is hard. I didn't make these questions, by the way. How long do sharks live? Which sharks are you even talking about? This is bullshit. Okay, finally I got one right. It was horrible. Man, how are you guys so good at this? I thought I got that one right. You guys are so much better at this than me. Got one right. Hell yeah. That's what I'm fucking talking about. Got one wrong. They are afraid of other sharks and humans. This is a very biased question. I don't like this game. I have to sneeze. Oh, I'm not doing that bad. Again, opinionated question. Again, different species have different numbers of teeth. Like, they're painting them with a broad brush. I don't like this. They live in all oceans. Thank fucking God you got something right to the maker of this game. It's probably like a 3rd grade teacher that I'm, like, dominating right now. I'm, like, roasting. Now I feel bad about what I said about Walmart parking lots the other day. That's funny. We only have like 40 seconds left. Some of you guys are doing so good. I'm like losing so bad. Oh, not really. I'm like halfway. Which shark lives in fresh? And I knew that one. But yeah. Oh, it's about to end. Alrighty. Sharks for all. Caitlin and CJ in first place. It does not let me see everybody. Tragically, I got 52% of these questions right. That was hard because it like wasn't really about us. Like it was just random shark things. But thank you all so much for being here. I hope you liked talking about sharks. I hope you liked the chaos stream. Does anybody have memes? I'll put the meme thing up if anybody wants to. But I think we are probably ready to get out of here for tonight. Did they get rid of this little quick launch thing that I used to like? No, there it is. There we go. Quick launch. All right. If anybody has memes they would like to make, I'll stick around for a couple seconds, but you definitely don't have to. Have a good night, everybody. Sleep tight. Tell your friends about sharks. Tell them that they have bad PR and they deserve better. They're smart. They're nice. They don't even want to eat us. And I like them and I care about them. And I think that they deserve to be more appreciated, honestly. So yeah, and I will see you next week for my favorite things. I have a lot of favorite things and some new favorite things. It'll pretty much be all new favorite things. Yeah, live, laugh, and love. Live, laugh, and learn. This is always my favorite part of my week. I've missed you all immensely. Thank you to everyone who's been coming to see us when we're on tour. And yeah, I will see you